can see I've been working on part 2. Let me just get everything ready. Looks like settings look pretty good. Been working on part 2. Oh, feedback. Feedback. All right. That all looks good. Sound, I think, should be okay. We'll let it play. We'll let it play for a little bit while I prepare. Not much has been going on last week. I think I'm gonna this week I'm just gonna continue this episode. I think we're gonna continue with my Manticore run from last week, which I thought went pretty well. Last week I've mostly been, again, as I said, working on part 2, which is pretty much what we'll be doing for another couple of weeks, if not more. George, Ark needs access to YouTube too. Oh, that's a good idea. But I got all the old videos uploaded. Oh my god, that's awesome! That's awesome! That is great news, T-Tech. Thank you. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, not T-Tech. Never mind. I don't know who it is then. But it doesn't matter. Whoever it is, thank you for uploading the videos. And I will give access to... In fact, well, no, I won't do it right now. But I will give access to our canon. I think that's a great idea. Do I have... Just make sure I have your... You're gonna make me do this. You are gonna make me do this, aren't you? Let's see. I gotta do... Creator Studio, switch accounts, no. It's probably like settings or something. That's the channel. Settings. This is probably it. Connected accounts. No, that's not it. Alright, well, like I said... Oh, here it is. I forgot how to do this already. Oh, here it is. Add or remove managers. Here we go. Someone just needs to give me our canon's okay. Hang on a second. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this. It's gonna take too long. Sorry. Abort. This is gonna take too long. I'll do it after the session. Otherwise it'll just take forever. What's going on with Transcendence? Why is it a little bit off? Probably because I moved it. Okay, there. That's perfect. Okay. Let's get started. I think we can do a pretty decent game today. Get rid of that. I couldn't get the preview video, the one that says Chronosaur Productions, to load for some reason. It played fine on its own, but when I combined it, it glitched out the videos when it got to YouTube. Can go post them up. Yeah, it's not a big deal. That's fine. Yeah, but you know, P9 looks like the ship from Atlantis. Oh, maybe. That's cool. I'm excited that you got him up there, though. I think that's really cool. I think that's great. So thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. Let's continue. Yeah, I have been doing a lot of debugging, haven't I? Is that me? Yes, that's me with the Manticore. That's me. All right. Let's go. B9 looks like an alienized Manticore, and B9 Destroyer looks like alienized corporate cruiser. That's not, you know, it's not, that wasn't my intent, and it probably doesn't work that way, but it just kind of shows at some point my creativity just repeats. I've hit the, I'm now, my fountain of ideas is looping. I've hit the end. Show me the Exiles Sapphire. Oh, I could do that now that I'm in here. I don't know if this is what you meant. I don't know if this is what you meant. The elixir? I don't know if that's the one you meant. But doesn't matter. All right, let's get going. Let's get going. Okay, so we're gonna just continue this run. This is on a 1.8, kind of a, I think it's pretty much a pretty close to beta 1, but it's got a few minor changes, so most likely it just means it's gonna have bugs. All right, let's see where we are. Tau Ceti, so I just started. I think I finished, just a couple of missions. Let me refuel. I have a little bit of money. I haven't upgraded anything yet, have I? You know, one thing I really do miss, I'll tell you one thing I miss. I really miss the large hero image. I gotta figure out a way to put a large or a, you know, or larger or fairly large hero image somewhere that's not faded into the background. I gotta figure out a better design for this, but... Oh, one other thing I want to talk about, which I guess I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but another thing I want to work on is growing the size of this dock screen. This dock screen was designed basically for 1024 by 600. There was basically a time when, or maybe 1024 by 800. I think that was, no, 600. 1024 by 600. There were basically some laptops back then that had kind of these dimensions, and I wanted Transcendence to work on 1024 by 600. I think we could probably go beyond that. I wonder if we should start setting the minimum resolution size of Transcendence to like maybe 1280 times 1024, something like that, and then we can grow the size of this dock screen. I think that might help a little bit, so I'll consider that. This one I'm showing now is 1920 by 200, which is still probably too large for a minimum default, but 1280 by 1024 might be a decent one. Even if it's 1280 by 768, that might still be a pretty decent default. So discuss. Yeah, 720. 1280 by 720, something like that. I think might be pretty decent for minimums. Right now, like I said, the minimum vertical is 600, which is really pretty crazy. We could definitely use a little bit more room in the dock screen, so I'll do that. Probably not for, well, I don't know. We'll see. I might be able to do that for 1.8, but we'll see. Okay, Manticore. Of course, this has kind of that gimmicky armor and the armor repairer. So I can't really do anything here unless I get just better armor. So let's go to weapons. I still have the standard stuff. Do I have any? I don't have any. Do I want to buy some more missiles? What have I got here? This is where I wish I had the Urgal targeting scanner, or Uzun, sorry, Uzun targeting scanner. That's what I really, really want, but I guess it's not to be. 300s. You know, I don't know. This I may not want to stick with the Burak line. The Burak line, I think, should probably, once the Uzun targeting stuff is in there, I guess I really think that's when that will be viable. But until then, probably not. Arcanon says Uzun targeting scanner is real, and I have definite proof. Yeah, I think a bunch of people. NMS and a couple others, I don't remember, have always done various versions of it. That's the big problem with the PM says. That's the big problem with the Manticore armor. Yeah, that's I think another one. I mean, that's the gimmick of the Manticore, right? Is that it has no shields. I don't think it gets enough of a compensation from having no shields. So, you know, this is another thing that might be fun to work on, is to figure out what we can do to, you know, compensate for that in some way. And I don't know if that means some other kind of bonus or specific armor that works really well on the Manticore that doesn't work on other ships. I don't know, but that's kind of what the things to think about. Adrian says, George, on a side note, post-stream when you're helping Ark get running, can we try to see if you could simulcast on YouTube next week or export to YouTube automatically since you'll already be in the console? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's do that post-stream. Let's do that post-stream. I think that'll be fun. I don't know how to do simulcast. I'm using Orb. So I don't know. I know I can auto post from, or I thought I could auto post from Twitch to YouTube, but maybe I'm wrong about that. You can't upgrade without killing your regen rate unless you're luck. So this is back to PM on the armor. But you can't upgrade without killing your regen rate unless you luck out on lots of ways. Yeah, that's on lots of Navaya. Yep. Plus the shield penalty. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to talk about that. Uncle Bill Droin says, I'm still on an 800p laptop and only 900p on my second monitor. Okay, well that's okay though. That's, you know, that's better than 600, which is, like I said, the previous minimum. So even if I move the minimum to 720, I think that's going to help a lot. And if I can go up to 800, that might even be better. I'm never going to change the minimums to some just ridiculous thing that, you know, is going to lose players. The Transcendence has always been kind of a bit of a retro game, and I think it benefits from running on low-end hardware. I don't think I want Transcendence to be exclusive to high-end hardware. So I'm not gonna move too fast. So nobody worry. Okay. Twitch settings, connections, YouTube, export, archives. Okay, we'll do that after the stream. All right. Now there's nothing good here, so I'm not gonna go here. Did I buy anything else here that I need? Particle source upgrade? No. Is there anything else that people would usually want me to buy here? Nah. Okay. What else? Autons, fuel. Let's see if there's a map. Nope. There's some armor shop. I mean, unless they have heavy Novaya, right? I don't think there's. It doesn't make sense for me to buy essentially non-Novaya armor. Yeah. Somewhere it should say how much will regenerate, but let's see what these guys have. Anything here? Turbo lasers? Nah. Nothing good. But I can always sell stuff there. Buy the unknown ROMs. Oh, well, okay, well that's good to know. Ooh, a dual cannon might be cool. I don't think... Oh, I can afford it. My favorite slam cannon. And then a bunch of armor, which I don't really think I want to buy. So I think maybe... I could probably buy a Moskva. Yeah, that's it. The Makayev, I think, might be pretty good. What do you guys think? Dual cannon? That might be better than my current heavy recoilless, even though it's short range. And then I can use, maybe I can use something else for that. Cash card? I just gotta buy one. What about unknown barrels? That's too risky. Alright, here we go. Aha! A map! They probably have, of course. Oops, let's see if we can buy some more maps. Yeah, there we go. 200 credits for a map? That's probably undercharging. Maps should almost... I don't know. I was about to say maps should cost more per level, but I'm not sure how that would even work. Okay, so now I gotta wait for that guy. You could use autopilot remover ROM. Okay, while I'm here, I guess I will wander around here. There's the Sisters of Domina. I don't know how much I want to do that. I gotta do some of the Chimera missions. Let me do that. Let's see, what else do I need? A couple more anarchist guys over here. I really wish I had a Omni. I'm not gonna attack anything while I'm blinded. Really wish I had an Omni weapon. Anything else here? Mining column. Not as many friendly stations as normal. Try the Sisters and see what they do. Okay, I will do that. Oh, I think these guys are fine. Let me get these. Oh, those anarchists are already dead. Oh, never mind. I guess I will go to the Sisters. I need to do a new, slightly larger version of the Sisters. So here I get all the usual. I think this is the stuff that I would normally get in Eridani, and I do get to meet Benedict, which is nice. No thanks. Okay. Do I get the whole? I mean, I guess I can try it. Wow, final exam already. Abbasid Outpost, and then take the... Oh, well, I guess I can get a smart cannon. George, are you sick or something? You sound different. Yes, I am, sadly sick. That is why I sound different. But playing this always makes me feel better. There we go. Smart cannon rounds. Let's see what else is here. Nope. Nope. Okay, good. An interesting Manticore buff would be letting the player selectively repair different armor segments at will. So you can choose to move all your repair points towards your front segment and gain like plus 10 points per second. Oh, interesting. That's a really interesting idea. I like that. Okay. Let me go install this before Benedict yells at me. When I have more time, it would be great to have the Benedict character in Tau Ceti be different than Eridani to get different missions. It would still be Benedict because it probably turns, you know, it eventually converges into the same set of missions. But it would be interesting if Tau Ceti just had different initial missions compared to Eridani. Like maybe it's a different, you know, maybe Fiona's in a different predicament than in maybe I'll install it here. Nope, I want to install. Then what happens in Eridani? Okay, so I've got plenty of ammo. Now let's go back. Okay. Oh. Traitors. Well done. Much more dangerous things out there. Yeah, that's what you think. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now here's Fiona. Son of Freighter coming to the system. Protect her until we can get here. We talked last episode about how maybe Benedict should even help you out in this particular mission. By the way, I've never done this in Tau Ceti. I mean, not since... Actually, probably never. I don't think I even ever tested it in Tau Ceti other than just to make sure it came up. So I'm gonna see what this is like. It's I think this might be a longer distance than Eridani. So yeah, we talked about having Benedict possibly follow you, you know, to protect Fiona, and I think that's not a bad idea. That might really... Whoa, jeez. Ah, keep on hitting the freighter. I just don't maneuver enough. Oh, freighter got confused. Ah, I keep on. There we go. Now this guy. Jeez, he's tougher than I remember him. Oh, sad. I think they blew each other up. Oh, so sad. Oh, poor Benedict's gonna be pissed at me. It's too bad at this point I should be able to rescue Fiona, you know? I should like be able to... I should write that down. Maybe you get different experience points, but like, wouldn't it be cool if her medical coffin were still here? Ability to rescue Fiona. Again, these are things that I can do once I have a little bit more time. Okay. Oh, poor Benedict. Poor Benedict. Rescue Fiona seems too hard for a complete dunce. Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, you know, I'd like to think I'm not a complete dunce, but it was still hard for me. And especially for, again, I should have never trusted you. Are penitents more resistant to kinetic than they used to be? I don't think... I kind of do remember the mission being easier. I can't quite explain it. I don't think so. I don't think I've changed. We can look just real quick, but I don't think... where am I looking? I'm looking in... Oh, sorry, I can't think. Here we go. What kind of armor do they have? The Repentant class has Advanced Reactive, which I don't think has changed. Although I guess, I mean, against smart cannons, that is pretty bad. And then the Atonement has Heavy Plasteel. So, I mean, they're not... They're surprisingly... Maybe not surprisingly, but they're probably more powerful than they should be. I got dock and refuel. Okay, well, I'm churning through my money and all I've got is a nice smart cannon. me just buy some armor. I mean ammo. Maybe just about 100. Make up for what I wasted trying to rescue poor Fiona. Okay, so now I can do some... I still want a longer range... You guys have to tell me what I should do, but I still want a longer range blast weapon of some sort. Let's do a mission. Anarchist Station. Nice. Anarchist, I can handle anarchists, especially now with a smart cannon. Oops, what did I just do? Nothing. Whoops, oops, oops, oops. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, let me see. Let's use this before I die. Okay. Oh, out of missiles. These don't look like normal anarchists. What's going on here? I'm not gonna waste. Sorry. There we go. Something took over the station. Blah blah blah. What was it? Biosoft, something mutated everything. Something hacked the systems. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now the Chimera missions. Hey George, have you considered changing the trading system? Right now trading gives you a ton of credits for a lot of simple work. I feel like trading shouldn't give you the same return as arguably more enjoyable things like fighting. I think that's, yeah, I think that's absolutely correct, your assessment. 1.8 changes. I don't know when the last time you've played, but 1.8 does change the trading system a little bit, and I don't know if it makes it harder but I think it makes it a little bit more fun. Nice work out there. Blah blah blah. Don't know what you saw. Blah blah. Okay. So meet Anton, I presume. Okay. I still gotta figure out what I want. What I need more weapons. I'd love to see a mode where stations simply don't buy stuff from the player. You have to scavenge equipment instead. Yeah, PM says, yeah, 1.8 fixes some of the bugs that made trading particularly annoying, I hope. Alright, let's see. I still have to figure out... No, there's nothing good here. You guys told me not to buy the Musk. Well, it's too late now. I can't afford it. I can't afford this guy. I certainly can't afford a slam cannon. Although, wow, an enhanced one would be pretty cool. But I need another 5,000 credits. Light turret? Should I get a light turret? That would be fun too. Okay, let's keep going. You know, I could probably move into another system. No one likes short range turrets, it sounds like. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Okay. There's an anarchist gathering I'm gonna take out. Maybe a Himal too, because now that I've got smart cannon, I can target these guys. Okay, now I can switch to this guy. Probably don't need to get this close. Another heavy recoilless, which I can just sell. Now these guys are normal anarchists. Normal ability to die. Now I don't have a scanner yet, do I? No, I don't. Targeting scanner. Alright, good. Now I can get some good loot. Let's see what these guys have. Probably some loot. I mean some ROMs. If I'm lucky. Whoa, no loot? That's sad. That's random number generator is definitely working against me. Oh, and I gotta get more missiles. You know, maybe I'm gonna swap my missile launcher. My missile launcher is probably a little. Oh, these guys. Gotcha. My missile launcher is probably it's probably not worth it to keep the Burak line. There's not much there. I need to make that line distinctive enough so that, you know, it feels like you can. There's enough missiles and whatnot to want to get it for some reason, but oh my goodness, I'm terrible at this. There we go. Okay. Salmon. Make curator stock more. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Then at least you'd get the you'd get more drops. Yeah, the main reason to use NAMI launchers, Karen pirates use missiles and they use them everywhere. That's not a bad idea. I like that method of you know, I like that as an advantage. That's not a bad idea. Curators and maybe some other guys. All right, back here. Let's sell. Don't buy those. All right. Oh, I never use those barrels. Oh, let me sell those here. Yeah, these guys are definitely they're giving me a nice markup on this stuff, so that's good. Let me refuel. And let me use that barrel. Do we know what this barrel is? I'll use it on one of my side armors. That's not horrible. Use it on that. And I guess I'll use it on one of these. Awesome. Okay. What else? I do not use, this is PM, I do not use my Drake Tech launchers much because no one uses them. Meaning no enemy uses them enough so that the missiles aren't easy to find. Conversely, but at least make Buraks a bit more common. Yep, I think that sounds right. Derekon says, conversely, it's pretty hard to run out of longbows if you use the light NAMI. Yeah, I think that's right. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. Oh, I don't think it has it. Do any of these guys have a NAMI? This guy I thought might. Yeah. I have just enough. but the Nami is weak sauce compared to the strong Borak. It pays itself back so easy. Yeah. Arcannon says, Nami longbows are like nuclear fission. You get some longbows and you fire them at enemies, and those enemies drop more longbows. That's true. Stilettos are really nice. You know, and again, this is once the Borak has the targeting module. Now I think a targeting module plus a Borak launcher should be more powerful. I mean, obviously, since it's now using 2 slots, should be more powerful than a Nami with stilettos. So that's something I think we'll have to do at some point. That's the reason to get the Borak, I think. But until then, I think I'm gonna get the Nami. Let's just do that, and we'll get some. Oh my God, they've got stilettos. I can get some stilettos. Let's do that. That's a lot, but I might need. No, you know. Actually, I will buy 100 because this is great for capital ships. This is great for pirate frigates, for Vikings that don't drop right away. That's all that's what that stuff is good for. Okay, now I've just like blown all my money on missiles, and I forgot I probably need to buy more ammo for the smart cannon. Buy another 100 rounds, 200 rounds. Okay, now I'm like really out of money. Okay, now I gotta get more. So one thing I'm gonna do, I think this guy imports luxury goods. Oh, has a surplus of food, fusion fuels, and ores. So imports industrial resources and luxury goods. So if I can just find some luxury goods here, I can carry them over. So let's find industrial goods. They're not gonna sell them here. They're gonna sell them maybe here. No, that's just food. Oh yeah. Terracon says, with what money are you going to buy stuff with? A wise question. Alright, never mind then. Then, I was gonna start taking on some of these stations and taking their ores, but I don't think anybody needs ore. Oh, here's Rigel Aurelius imports ore, but that's pretty far. Alright, let's move on to the next system and we'll see what I'm gonna have to. We'll see. I will have to move on. Whoa, who's attacking me? Oh, too much. Wasted a missile. At least I get some fuel rods. Okay. I'm still sad about Fiona. Am I like totally screwed? Do I like lose the entire mission chain? I probably do. I don't think she shows up in the hospital anymore. I'm getting sluggish even with the drive upgrade. I feel sluggish. I wonder if I need another drive upgrade. This thrust plus 100, which is not that much. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to do another one. Hey, idea. After completing the Fiona Benedict mission chain, you should get one of them as a wingman for the rest of the game. That's not a bad idea. I want to make wingmen a little bit better, but once I do that, I think that is a good idea. Okay, now I can sell some stuff. Sell. don't sell that stuff. Anything to buy? Analyzer, no. But system map ROM, yes. Nothing else looks good. Nope. Sell the helium. All these fuel rods? Oh, the level 4. Oh, the heal. Oh, this one. That's a pretty hefty discount. You need money more. That's probably true. Let me see. Is there? No, there's not another place. Let me see. Not that it matters right now, but surplus of fusion fuels. Yeah, so I can't. I don't want to sell here. I should have sold here if I wanted to sell. Oh no, that's just average. I gotta find out. I will find out someplace to sell. I think I just need to make more money at this point. Got him. Useless, but I can at least sell it. Useless, okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep looking. What is your favorite? Cal Winter says, what is your favorite ship to fly? I'm not a good judge of that because when I play, I mean, 90% of the time when I'm playing to test. So I honestly, like, when I did the permadeath run on the Freyr, I had a lot of fun. I hadn't had that much fun on the Freyr when I first debugged it. So I really enjoyed that. Oh. But my favorite definitely is, I don't want to say favorite. The one that I play the most is the Sapphire, just because that's more my style in the sense that I'm not very good at dogfighting. So whenever I play the Wolfen, I always feel like I just cannot control it well enough. But I think that might have been before mouse support. Now with mouse support, I feel like the control might be a little bit easier. That's why I had fun with the Freyr. But even the Freyr, I think, is not quite as fast as the Wolfen. The Wolfen is just super fast. So the Sapphire, like the Freighter, I don't have the patience for anymore. It's oh, I gotta buy stuff. It's just a little too slow, a little too unmaneuverable for me. So I think the Sapphire for me is a good middle ground. But like I said, I've had fun with all of them. And I'll confess I have a little bit of a attachment to the Manticore. When I was developing Corporate Command, all my debugging was on the Manticore, which probably accounts for why the Constellation is so at the time so horribly unbalanced, so terribly weak compared to the other ones. Did I get some items? Oh, there we go. Okay. Mouse controls was a big win for controls in this game, in my opinion. That's Daracon saying that. I'm glad you think so. I honestly, I added it almost because I was forced to. People said, add mouse controls, and so I did, not thinking that it would help at all. But now I love them. I do think mouse controls have radically changed the game. So I guess I should not have been surprised, but I was. I do now regret not adding mouse controls like 10 years ago, or whatever. Okay, let's see. Ooh, mining. Malo says, I love the Manticore, it's my favorite ship. Corporate Shipyard. The Corporate Shipyard has not I haven't yet added, as you can tell, I haven't yet added the actual place where you can buy ships. I'll add that. Maybe not. I don't know if I'll add that in 1.8. I may not have time to do it in 1.8, but I will eventually add it. Otherwise, for now, the corporate shipyard is fairly useless. Let's see what else is around here. PM says Minotaur is a mini capital and has some of what I like to use capitals for from player ship drones. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think PM was saying in 1.8 Minotaur is his favorite for part 1. That's good to hear. I like the Minotaur a lot. I think it's fun. And you know, last episode we were talking about giving the player something to look forward to, and I think that's what the Minotaur is. It might be a little too far out. Speaking of curators, it might be a little too far into the game for beginning players to really know that that's what they can get. But I don't know, maybe there should be places very early on where you can see the Minotaur and lust after it if you can ever amass the 100K or whatever that it costs. Medical station. Okay, now here's where I say who needs medicine? This exports medical supplies. Talsetti, I guess, could buy it. Gliese 101 imports surplus of medical supplies and ores. Oh man, everyone's got surpluses. Luxury goods, basic foods, and fusion fuels. Oh, well, imports fusion fuels, and this guy has a whole bunch of fusion fuels, so I should just buy a lot of fuel here. I guess that's something I could do. Dante Station. Oh, agricultural. Oh, speaking of pirates, C9 class prefabricated agricultural station. Meeting hall. Blah blah blah. Welcome. Skip the tour. I've never gotten a tour to a station. Okay, help us. 5,000 credits. Oh, totally. I could use 5,000 credits, and actually, I'm loaded for. I can totally take on pirates. Here we go. Gotcha. Oh. Got him. More, no. Okay, watch out for Vikings. I like the new look of these kind of Commonwealth stations. I think it still kind of fits the gritty. Whoa! Stop talking and start fighting. Now these Vikings, I'm gonna. Whoa! 3 missiles. Okay. I think I destroyed them all. Okay, this is it. Oops. Ah, forget it. Forget it. Got him. Pirates are... Oh, more. Pirates are always relatively easy. I love fighting pirates just because they are... You know, you kind of get a satisfying... Ooh, nice turbo laser. You get the satisfaction of being able to kill a lot of mooks with one... You know, with one shot. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, 5,000 credits. Thank you. Nice. Okay. Can I buy anything here? Grain. Okay, so they have lots of food. Who needs food? imports basic foods. So that's probably what I should do. I should come here, buy a lot of this stuff, which they give me huge discounts, and then buy it for... Alright, sounds good. The only problem is wave 3 with possible drakes. Yeah. 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 Pirates are suicidal. They're flying around in ultralight titanium armor. I rescued that guy. Okay, let's I'm gonna see if I can just finish up the system and then move on. What else do I have to... Oh, there's a curator's outpost. What's Palace Station again? Oh, nothing. I think I need some fuel though. I need to refuel. Oh, there's a fuel shop right there. Herenix Fuel and Energy. Map. Wow, 16 credits. It's 9 credit discount. I guess I could buy a lot of those now that I have money. And I could go once I go forward to Gliese. No, I gotta find luxury goods somewhere. Alright, let's take over this curator's outpost. They might have luxury goods, although not usually. I'm not gonna waste missiles on these guys. Oops, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. Just out of range. Got him. Coilless. Okay, sell all that stuff, and then I will move on to the next system. So I think what I'll do is I'll buy some... Let's see. Dante Station is the agricultural station. Oop, gotta get these guys. Let me see if I can find some luxury goods, and then I'm gonna find some either fuel or... Oops, sorry. Oops. Fuels. Yeah, that's not as cheap as the other one. Basic food. That's not what I want. They don't have any luxury goods. So maybe I'm stuck with... Ooh, ice farm. I didn't even see that. That's filled with luxury goods. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I should buy this. Oh, it's still 10% over. I'm surprised the markup is that high, 10%. I guess it's normal. Oh, imports luxury goods, that's why. Well, I still think I can do it. I'm not gonna buy that many, but I think I'll buy these guys. I'll buy 8 of these. And then I'm gonna buy... So I bought 8 for... I'm just gonna write... I'm gonna write this down just so that I can remember if any of this makes sense. I bought 8 of those for $5.50. This is again something that the game should remember for you, but it doesn't right now. Let's buy some of these guys. Yeah, 16 credits. That's really awesomely cheap. So we're just going to buy a bunch of those, and then we're going to go to the next system, which is just up here, and see who will buy. Nice. Okay, let's map this. This might be worth mapping. Map. There's a mining. Oh, there's Anton. There's Imhotep. I think that's a corporate metropolis. And there's a hotel. Oh, the hotel is just gonna give me huge profits. Except the hotel's being attacked. Or the hotel's trying to dock. What is the hotel trying to do? That was weird. Sell. That's not as much. I was expecting a little bit higher markup. That's not as much as I expected. How about this guy? Well, I'll still sell it because I think these guys want it more. Okay, and then now we can go over here. Oh, here's some pirates. Okay, and then... Ooh, another Biosoft. Visual display enhanced. Okay, that's something. Let's go up here. Oh, that's a medical station. No wonder they've got. I guess I should have known because they've got a surplus. Oh, but these guys. I think these guys buy fuel. No, they don't. They should. They don't. There's a black market station. There's a mining station. I'm not going to do Anton today. Let's do this. Let's sell this stuff. Nope. Alright, well then there's nothing I can do. Then I think I'm done. Oh, let me just, I think I'll probably end here, because we're already over time. And I'll hang here with my buddy Anton. Alright, we'll end it there, and then, we'll pick it up next time and we'll continue. And meanwhile, I'll take some questions. So, let me take questions. I'm just gonna read. Cal Winter says, I love the EI500 because I can't bring myself to choose between what devices to have. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, something I wanted to bring up, could you make any station that sells ships also sell a bunch of titanium casings so you can swap out your armor? Do you mean like... I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Do you mean like so you can keep the armor you had on your original ship or something like that? That's not a bad idea. Daracon says miners should buy fuel if they don't. They should, and they don't. I'm writing that down. In fact, just about almost everybody should buy fuel. You know, I mean, it's like I think almost any station, there's a bunch of basic stuff that almost any station should buy. Fuel, basic foods, that kind of stuff. One thing I did, you probably noticed as I was playing. Um, one thing I did is a lot of the items are now categorized by some of those the categories that show up on the map in terms of what a system needs. Things like basic foods, fusion fuels, ores, that kind of stuff. That I think I'm going to use those categories more and more to figure out which stations need to buy what. And so something like basic foods, I think almost every station would want to buy. Same thing with fuels. I think almost any station would want to buy those. And then there's other things that maybe only a few stations would need to buy. So how does here's a question from Malo. How does the Commonwealth government work? That's a good question. I haven't thought too deeply, but I mean the Commonwealth is always meant to be kind of a space version of a standard Western government, something like the United States or Europe, maybe the European Union. It would have to be heavily federated, meaning it's not. Each system probably has a lot of leeway. Some of the large metropolises probably have a lot of leeway. There's kind of a shared budget for a shared military. There's a parliament in St. Catherine's Star, but a lot of the decisions would almost certainly be very, very local, just because of the distances involved and the time differences. I mean, one thing in Transcendence, there is no faster than light communications other than through the Stargates. So all communications is ships moving, data across through the Stargates. So there is kind of some fast and light communication, but it's not instantaneous. So you can't just make a phone call to St. Catherine's Star and start talking to someone. You have to send a data packet, out of the system. So running a government that way is not as easy as say the United States. Beyond that, I think the Commonwealth, you kind of get a sense that it's a sovereign in decline, or at least in some difficulties. It's threatened by many enemies that are kind of encroaching on its territory, between either the Sung and especially the Ares in the Outer Realm. And of course, the Commonwealth is different in the sense that it has these multiple parallel systems that over which it has very limited sovereign. So for instance, the corporate hierarchy is in a sense a parallel system that doesn't have that the Commonwealth doesn't have a lot of control over. They have treaties with the Commonwealth with the corporate hierarchy. They have treaties to kind of see how their citizens interact, but they're separate sovereign entities. And the black market is maybe not, well, certainly not as large as the corporate hierarchy, but the black market is also something that is not uncommon in space, where you'd have just these parallel systems that don't owe allegiance to the central government. So it's I don't know if that answers the question, but that's kind of where I was always thinking. Random idea: what if radioactive wrecks were to slowly decay? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know whether that would help or not help. I mean, it would help in that if there's some cool treasure in the radioactive wreck, it kind of gives you a time limit to get it. But other than that, Daracon says, I tried to point this out last week, by the way, but the chimeratized pirate station in Scylla will attract pirate traders. Oh yeah, it probably shouldn't. I think, yeah, I'll write that down too. I think there's a couple of bugs about traders visiting things they're not supposed to visit. I need to add some attribute or something to stations so that those traders don't visit them. Okay. Um, PM says, unless you break the law, then the Commonwealth has instant transmission. I guess that's not totally unfair. Question: if there's no FTL comms, why are there no couriers missions to protect or act as one? That's an excellent question. I mean, there are some, like for instance in corporate command, I think there's a mission to send a data ROM, a one-time pad, in fact, I think, from one place to another. I think there should be more of those kind of courier missions. I probably will end up adding them. Initially I think I felt like I think initially I felt that some of those missions could get boring, but I think right now we don't have enough missions at all, so I don't think it would hurt to add some courier missions. I meant courier ships. That I think, I mean, you do see ships flying all over the place. I think there may not be, there definitely isn't a simulation where it shows the same ship going from one system all the way to the other, but there's always ships coming out of the gate into a station and out of a station into a gate. I assume that some of those are courier ships. Type beam signals to the gate, then it type beams to the next gate or to its destination. Yeah, basically have do more like some ship that's hanging out at the gate, beam the information there, and then the ship goes over the gate and then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The way I'm going to explain that away is that it's too dangerous. If you have a predictable, point where you can just intercept the ship and guarantee that it's a communication ship, there might be ways of subverting that. That's my only lame excuse for why I don't do that. Destroy the couriers and you're free. Now that's an interesting idea. I like that idea. That's not the end. Although even that, by the way, isn't exactly how it would work, right? I mean, you can imagine the way law enforcement would work is every system has a database of, arrest warrants or whatever. And so if you break the law, it goes into the database instantaneously in the local system, or at light speed in the local system. Once it's in the local system, it doesn't matter if you kill the courier. It's in the database, and the next courier is then going to replicate it to the other system. So I don't think killing the courier would get you scot-free. Hacking into the database before the courier gets out might work. And maybe that might be an interesting black market mission. I can totally imagine. These are great ideas, by the way. I like the way you guys think. That might be a great black market mission where you either have to hack into the database, or intercept the courier, or maybe even subvert the information in a courier ship. Those are great ideas. I do like those ideas. There's some good stuff there. Okay, let's see. There's a bunch of other things. One thing that isn't really covered in the game much, why hotels are where they are. Because they seem fancy, so there's probably attractions. But that's kind of missing from Transcendence. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, obviously in game, the location is fairly random, but I do like the idea of in the future having hotels be in more interesting locations. Meaning, like for instance, maybe ringed planets have a greater chance of having a hotel than normal planets. Maybe I don't know. Certainly almost all metropolises probably should have a hotel. But that's a great question. I think that would add a little bit interesting. Just make the world a little bit more believable, more interesting. Right now, my assumption is basically that no, I mean, doesn't matter where you go in the country. There's going to be a hotel there. So my assumption is basically, if a hotel is someplace crowded with a bunch of other stations, it's because that's a metropolis, and that's what a hotel is for. Excuse me, sorry. If a hotel's in the middle of nowhere, then I assume it's like, that's a vacation spot in the middle of nowhere to get away from it all. So I think either way it sort of works. Okay, let me keep going. How are Commonwealth credits secured? Another excellent question, which I've given absolutely no thought. But it would have to be, it obviously would have to be based on a central database. So I'm not even gonna try to invoke cryptocurrencies and distributed currencies, because I don't think that's necessary in this kind of a system. So even without fancy technology like that, you can absolutely secure currency by just essentially unentering a database. So I think that's okay. The issue is you want to have entry in a database with still some degree of anonymity, just because a lot of people like that. And so I kind of assume that there's the Commonwealth, Federal Reserve or whatever runs the backbone that keeps track of who has what, but there are anonymized ways of transferring money from account to account. So when you find these cash card ROMs, those are kind of what they are. It's it's an anonymized way of doing a transfer, and a secure way of doing a transfer from one account to another. That's kind of what I'm assuming, but I don't know. But I don't believe that Commonwealth credits, unlike like in Star Trek where they have, I don't know, latinum or some weird type of non-duplicatable metal, money in Transcendence in the Commonwealth is not backed by some non-forgeable physical item. It's all digital. It's just all digital. There's nothing to forge. The only way to forge money is to hack the Commonwealth computers, which presumably are very difficult to hack, if not impossible. So that's kind of how I would describe it. PM question: is there a way to draw continuous beam to any arbitrary distance as an effect instead of as a weapon attack? Oh, that's a great question, and the answer right now I believe is no. But there should be. I mean, obviously what you can do is you can create a ray effect where the length is arbitrary, whatever length you want. But I think it's hard to control. I think what you want is, I don't know, try this. Try a ray effect where the length is whatever length you want, and position the effect using like syscreate effect or something. Usually where you want it, where the head of the effect, the front of the effect, is at that position, and the direction of the effect, which I think you can set, is the direction in which you want it. Try that using syscreate effect and ray. That's, I think, your best bet. But beyond that, give me more context, and maybe there's a way we can add some function out, some APIs to that, because I think that's something that would be useful. Thought: one thing that isn't really covered in the game much is why hotels exist. For business, pleasure, leisure, etc. If it's leisure, it'd be fun to have space zoos and missions like that. Oh, that's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, one thing that I think Transcendence needs more of is those just and things about the environment that are just fun. One thing that I've want to try to do is come up with more interesting natural formations, natural, arrangements of either planets or asteroids that are unusual in some way, and that people might want to see. That not just people, but the player might like to see. So I totally get that. But on top of that, of course, it would be great to do more unique places, like the in St. Catherine's Star, the Iocrim Memorial, I think is one of those types of places. I think there should be more of those, and that also should be randomized. Like, they shouldn't all be in the same place, and they shouldn't all, there should be some amount of randomness. But there should always be tiny little memorials, for some old battle, or statue to some old politician or general or whatnot, and little places like that. I totally agree. I completely agree. I think that would be a lot of fun to do that. Just, again, to make the world feel a little bit more, a little bit richer. That's always a great idea. I think more courier missions would be fun. That's why I brought it up. And I think, again, I don't mean to make fun of them. I think there's a way. I think there's a way. I need to work harder at it. To make those courier missions, I think, more interesting, and I think there are ways to do that. I completely agree. So I like that idea. Random idea 2. What if exposed hull, quote, where armor segment has 0 HP, were to take a certain amount of decay damage over time? Exposed hull. What would and what does that mean? What would take damage? Would the ship die, or would, like, interior hit points decay? That's interesting. You'd have to consider some of that stuff. Derekon says, Arcana, we were talking about this the other day on IRC. If I remember correctly, another possibility was for exposed hull to take damage just from the ship accelerating. I still don't quite. I mean, right now, for non-interior hull, for something like just the player ship, there is nothing beyond HP 0. If you get to 0 and you take damage, you're dead. For ships with interior compartments, well then, yeah, now the interior compartment starts taking damage. So I think that's interesting. It might be interesting to go the next level of detail on damage. Right now, damage, certainly for the player ship, it's kind of on or off. It's, you take damage to the armor and then you're dead. But maybe we start doing different types of, once you do punch through armor, there's different types of damage. There's hull breach, with various speeds, so that, maybe even though you have 0 HP and you've got a hole in your hull, and now maybe air is escaping, but maybe that still gives you time to put on spacesuits or something, especially if you have an item or something. There's some stuff we could think about there. I think that might be interesting. I don't know if it'll make the game more fun, and I think that's where I'm trying to figure out where how does this make the game more fun? That's what we kind of have to talk about. Okay. One of the pilgrims asked Domina to chalk it up to the spaceport using. Sorry, I don't quite get that. Chalk it up on the spaceport. Using I to 10. Sorry, I think that was referring to something else. I think that's probably referring to the currency. Malo says, also, why are the xenophobes such jerks? That's a good question, and I want to add more backstory type stuff in game, rather than just kind of unofficially in these channels. But one thing I'm thinking about, the xenophobes were always inspired. They're actually inspired by a story I read. It's Robert Reed's story, I believe, about a world ship that that is that basically just went on a tour of the whole galaxy, and in the story, basically the 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 idea for this world ship was that it thought that it had escaped a cataclysmic war on Earth, that Earth had gone to war and just dropped bombs everywhere, and everybody on Earth was dead, and this world ship was the last kind of little bits of civilization that had survived, from that war, and it was all that was left of Earth, and it turned into this great civilization. And for thousands of years, the world ship had gone, around the galaxy, kind of preserving that last bit of human civilization. And in the story, it turns out all that is a lie. The humans didn't blow themselves up. The war did happen, but they all survived, and humans eventually went on to conquer the whole galaxy. And so this world ship was actually just this kind of tiny little thing that that, far from being the only remains of humanity, was really just a little speck of nothing in a sea of humanity. And to keep that lie alive, the controllers of the world ship essentially would kill any other ship that came near it, with the pretext that those ships were dangerous, and wanted to kill them. So they basically would always convince people that any other ship was dangerous. That was kind of the original inspiration. I think obviously it's not the same reason for Xenophobes, but the thing I want to do for Xenophobes is, for them, I want to explore that a certain fanaticism and a certain righteousness in your cause that it's basically okay to treat everybody as an enemy. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, and I haven't quite figured out a way to do it in such a way that it's not a cliche, and so that's why I kind of haven't come up with a good backstory yet. But I will. I'll fit it all in. I think it's going to all connect to. I think it's all going to connect to Domina. I really do. I think it's going to end up. If you have this idea that the world is going to end, and that you're the only bit of civilization that's going to survive, you might be much, more callous about attacking others. So there's something in there that I gotta figure out. Okay, sorry. Long digression. Let me just keep reading. Zoo transport missions. I want space zoos. That's not a bad idea. In Frontier, I don't think the version that I have of Frontier 0.05 or whatever, 0.5 or whatever, I don't think, I think doesn't have this. I think a later version which doesn't run had it, but there was this Museum of Human Treasures somewhere in the game, which had all these interesting things like that. I think that's a great idea, though, to have like either zoos or museums or things like that, particularly in the main metropolises. This is sad. I've really got to get back to fixing AI aim. Yes, I know. It is pretty sad. Okay, I really need to go pretty soon, but I'm gonna just skim through to see if there are any other questions that I really want to answer. And I'm sorry, there's just a lot of questions that I wish I could answer, but I haven't gotten time. I'm just gonna skim really quickly. It's the name. They're scared of. How to set the length? Oh, right. Setting the length of. I don't know if there's a way to programmatically set the length other than in the on parameters call. That's how I would do it. But I don't know if you get access to that. So that's something we'll have to figure out. If necessary, either send me a PM or post a bug or something and maybe we can figure out. I may need to add some APIs to just make it easier. Okay, also George, random trivia, 10 years of Transcendence community chat and such. No way! That is unbelievable. God, and I don't know if you guys remember, but this year, 2018, is going to be the 15th anniversary of the first release of Transcendence. Transcendence was released on November 28th, 2003. So this will be our 15-year anniversary. So I don't know, maybe we should do something, and especially if it's 10 years of community chat, that's huge. That's really huge. We got to do something. I want to draw a lightning bolt from one ship to another without the damage. Oh, right. Okay, let me think about that and get back to you, because I'm actually trying to do that myself. There's a bunch of either weapons or things or effects that I would like where I would like that to happen. So I guarantee there will be a way to do that, but let me think a little bit about how we would do that. Okay, question, is that Mutant Sapphire in Part 2 a new starter ship or the ship you buy from Exilium instead of the patrol ship? Ah, you saw that. It's not a new starter ship. It will be a ship you buy from Exilium. It's basically a Sapphire converted to Mechanist technology. So just think of it that way. It's the Exilium people know how to just take that ship, turn it into so you can use all the Mechanist technology. So once you go into that, once you modify it that way, now you can buy all the Mechanist weapons. It takes Mechanist fuel. It's like well suited to survive in the world, and in theory that'll be cheaper than buying a whole new ship. So that's just one more path for the player to do, especially when they start out. So that's kind of my plan for that. And I don't think I'm certainly not going to have time for V1 of Vault of the Galaxy, but I'm not going to have time to do the other player ships in Mechanist form. So I'm not going to have a Mechanist Wolfen or a Mechanist whatever. I just don't think I have time. If in Part 2 also, the ship that Captain Toron meets you in, which is kind of this modified ranks dreadnought, that's kind of the same thing, right? That's a Mechanist ranks dreadnought, so that's kind of where it goes. Okay, mission idea: tow a disabled ship to port. It requires some physics work, though. That's not bad, though. I like that idea. I'm just gonna write that down. Now that we have some rudimentary physics engine with cables and stuff, it's not impossible. Okay. Oh, don't forget to wait for me and Ark. Right. Oh yeah. Okay, let me I really do have to go, but let me go to remind me, I have to give Arcannon access to... Oh, right, I gotta check the PM. Okay, inbound, sorry, hang on a second. There it is, YouTube access. Well, sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna try to not show everybody if there's anything special here. Here it is. Okay, I don't want to show people email addresses over a. So I'm gonna try to hide this. Let's see if this works. It works. Okay, so Arcannon is now. I've now sent a message that invite him to be a manager. So, anything else? Okay. NMS says, have you looked at the comments on the capital ship balance ticket? I have. I haven't commented yet, but I will. I've got some new book recommendations for George and Transcendence fans. Roboteer by Alex Lamb. A space opera about a small system resisting conquest by religious fanatics ruled by Earth. Hey, that sounds cool. Thank you. Oh, export archives. Twitch settings, connections, YouTube, export action. Okay, hang on. Twitch settings. Twitch settings, connections, YouTube, export archives. It's already set. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe it's not. Maybe something went wrong. I did it again. I don't know if it'll work. I should probably do this, huh? Oh, well, hang on a second. Okay. Go to your last video and go to options. Okay. Just make sure everyone can see. Okay, last view. Nope. Channel. Videos. Channel. Videos. Sorry. I don't know what that is. Is it video producer? This looks right. That's it. Oh, this is cool. It's got a whole bunch of videos. Okay, so now what? Add to? Export to YouTube. Someone help me. Add to? No. Upload queue? No. Highlight, watch, delete. Okay, well, I apologize, but I don't know how to do it. No, let's do a collection. No. Settings, channel. Extensions. No. Jeez, these guys are getting pretty sophisticated. Let me go back again. Is there anything else I need here? Settings. Channels and videos. No, that's just blocking stuff. Connections. I'm at a loss. disconnect and reconnect. I mean, I just disconnected and reconnected. So hopefully that'll work. Next week we can try to do this simulcasting. Okay, all right. Let's try that next week. I'd be surprised though. I don't know how simulcast is going to work, because unless Amazon Twitch has some deal with YouTube, well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. In any case, I really got to get going. I got to start dinner. But thank you guys as always for watching. Thanks again for some great questions. We had, I think, some really great questions today. I think, maybe, possibly. So I really appreciate that. I will be around next week, so I will see you all next week. We'll continue this, and as always, I'll continue answering as many questions as I can get. And I will see you. All right. Bye-bye.